discuss about cellular organelle. These are membrane-bound structures suspended in cytoplasm and perform a particular function. Let's discuss about first organelle, that is nucleus. Nucleus is the most important component of cell. As we have already discussed about the structure of nucleus, in the nucleus it is a small spherical body and outermost membrane is known as the nuclear envelope, and this nuclear envelope is double membrane, and in the nuclear membrane small pores are present. These small pores allows entries and exit of substances inside the nucleus and outside the nucleus. And second part of the nucleus is nucleoplasm. It is a dense fluid present within the nucleus. Third is the small spherical body known as the nucleolus, and this nucleolus is rich in it is rich in RNA. RNA stands for ribonucleic acid. This ribonucleic acid will help in synthesis of protein in cytoplasm. Fourth part of the very important part of nucleus is this thread-like structures are there. These thread-like structures are known as the chromatin. They will form chromosome like this. They will form the chromosomes at the time of cell division. These chromosomes bear small hereditary units known as the genes. These genes determine our body characters like the color of eye, color of hairs. So these are the genes which will determine the character. They carry the genes. These chromosomes carry the genes and transmit characters from parents to the offspring. So these genes are the unit of inheritance. And what are the functions of nucleus? It controls whatever chemical reactions are occurring. All the chemical reactions are known as the metabolic activities. It controls all the metabolic activities of the cell. It also controls cell cycle, that is, it controls at what time cell division will take place and how cell division will take place. And third main function of nucleus, it controls the transfer of characters from the parents to the offsprings. Second organelle that I am going to discuss is about mitochondria. These mitochondria are present in both plant and animal cell. Their number is more in animal cell than the plant cell. How do they look? Like nucleus, mitochondria is also double membrane structure. Two membranes are there. This is the outer membrane and the inner membrane is invaginated inward to increase the surface area to bear the enzymes. So mitochondria look like this if you see in the microscope. They will help to produce energy by oxidation of food. So as they are providing energy, so they are known as a powerhouse of cell. So the question can be like that, name the powerhouse of cell, then we will write mitochondria. Second component that I am going to discuss, third one is the lysosomes. Lysosomes are spherical structures present only in the animal cell. They are not present in plant cell. They contain hydrolytic enzymes. The hydrolytic enzymes are present in lysosomes and they will help in breakdown of food. They are also known as the suicidal bag. Why they are called suicidal bag? Because when the cell get old, at that time this lysosome will burst and all the enzymes get released in the surrounding cytoplasm and it will digest its own cell content. That's why known as the suicidal bag. This you will study in higher classes, but I am telling you now for the competition point of view. Important organelle are the Golgi complex. They are the complex system of membranes known as the tubules. These tubules are stacked above one another like this. They are more complex in animal cell, but in the plant cell they are known as the dictyosomes. So they secrete out some vesicles and they help in processing and packaging of the proteins which are coming from the endoplasmic reticulum. They also help in secretion of enzymes and proteins. Next important organelle, they are the ribosomes. ribosome look like this. This you will study in higher classes. Smaller subunit, this one smaller subunit and this one larger subunit. They are known as the protein factory of cell. Next organelle that I am going to discuss is about vacuoles. In plant cells, vacuoles are very big in size. They are such a big size that they occupy central space, and these are bag-like structures, and they store food material, waste, secretions of the cell and minerals. So this outermost covering is known as the membrane of this vacuole is known as the tonoplast, and this cell sap is the fluid present and contents present within the vacuole. These vacuoles are small in size. In case of animal cell, they are temporary and less in number in animal cells. Next main organelle are endoplasmic reticulum. They are of two types, RER, and R stands for rough, E for endoplasmic, R for reticulum, and SER. S stands for smooth endoplasmic reticulum. RER are involved in protein synthesis, and SER are involved in lipid synthesis. How do they look? They are also system of membranes looking like this. They are system of membranes like this. And if they are studded with ribosomes, then they are known as a RER. If they are smooth without any ribosomes, then they are known as the SER. So this one is the SER and this one is the RER. Last organelle that I want to discuss are the plastids. Plastids are present in plant cells only. Plastids in plant cells are generally of two types. One is chromoplast, another is leucoplast. Although these names are not given in NCERT, but I am telling for the extra information. Chromo means colored. Chromoplast means colored plastids. It can be green or it can be non-green. If they are green in color, we can call them chloroplasts. So chloroplasts are the plastids which contain green pigment chlorophyll, and this chlorophyll will harvest the sunlight. That's why chloroplast is also known as the kitchen of cell. So they are known. Name the organelle. Question can be like that. Name the organelle known as kitchen of cell. And there are some non-green plastids are there. So these non-green plastids, they impart beautiful colors to flowers like the red, yellow, orange to the flowers, and they impart color to flowers and fruits. So flowers are beautifully colored and fruits are colored due to presence of these chromoplasts. Last plastid, these colorless plastids are known as leucoplasts. They help to store the food. You will study in detail in higher classes about the leucoplast. And the plastids are double membrane structures like the mitochondria, and there are some sac-like structures stacked above one another. These sacs are known as grana. These sacs are grana, and these sacs are interconnected with each other, and the single sac-like structure is known as thylakoid. They are known as thylakoid. This single sac is known as thylakoid. The thylakoid contain chlorophyll pigment which will harvest the sunlight, to help in photosynthesis. So this is all about various organelles in animal and plant cells. Let us study structure of the cell. First of all, we will draw the diagram of animal cell, then we will draw diagram of plant cell. Let's see how to draw the diagram. We will draw almost rectangular shape for the animal cell like this. In the animal cell, nucleus is at the center, so we draw just rough outline, spherical structure, spherical shape for the nucleus. Then we will start drawing nuclear membrane. This one is the nuclear membrane. Sometime endoplasmic reticulum. These endoplasmic reticulum are network of tubules, network of channels. They will support the cell, they will form skeletal framework of the cell. So this network, endoplasmic reticulum, that is network present within the internal part of cytoplasm, that is known as the endoplasm. So it is known as endoplasmic reticulum. That this endoplasmic reticulum may be in continuation with plasma membrane also. So it is studded with round structure. These round structures are known as ribosomes. So due to this, surface of this endoplasmic reticulum become rough. So it is also called, these are of two types, rough endoplasmic reticulum. Beside this, in the cell there is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Smooth, as the name indicates, the surface is smooth. So there is no ribosomes on the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. We may call, S stands for smooth, E for endoplasmic, R for reticulum. This is smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and this one rough endoplasmic reticulum, RER. So the RER, as the ribosomes are present on the RER, so the role of function of ribosome is to synthesize proteins. So they will synthesize protein, and so RER is involved in synthesis of protein, and SER is involved in synthesis of lipids. So lipids are synthesized by the SER, and proteins synthesis take place with the help of RER. Now in the nucleus, as I had already discussed in the nucleus, this nuclear membrane is double layered. There is a spherical structure in the nucleus known as the nucleolus, and nucleolus is surrounded by this matrix, ground matrix, that is nucleoplasm, and there are thread-like structure in the nucleus. This thread-like structure, this thread-like network is known as the chromatin material. So I am not writing the components of nucleus here because I had already discussed these components. Next organelle in the animal cell is the mitochondrion. These root-like structures are mitochondrion. These mitochondrions are also double layer. This double layer membrane invaginate inward like this. So mitochondrion look like this. So what's the role of mitochondrion? They will release energy after breaking down the food. So as they are providing the energy, they are known as the powerhouse of the cell. So there are many mitochondrions within the cell. We will be able to draw only 2 or 3 here. Then in the cell, some spherical structures, lysosomes are there. These lysosomes contain hydrolytic enzymes. They will break down, they will hydrolyze the complex food to the simple food. And these lysosomes are also known as suicidal bags. And in case of animal cell only, near the nucleus, two cylindrical structures are there. These are the centrioles. They are present only in the animal cell, not in the plant cell. They will help in cell division. And one more structure is there. One more organelle is there. These are system of tubules and vesicles stacked one above other. This complex system of membrane is known as the Golgi complex. So this Golgi complex help in packaging of proteins which are coming from endoplasmic reticulum, packs the protein and help in secretions of vesicles, secretions of the enzymes and hormones. So some small vacuoles may be there which store waste material in the cell, in these vacuoles, or these vacuoles are temporary and small in size. Beside these simple vacuoles, food vacuoles may be there. Contractile vacuole, as in case of amoebas, contractile vacuole is there to control salt balance within the cell. So this in the cell whole, this ground matrix, this jelly-like fluid is there between the nucleus and the plasma membrane. This jelly-like fluid is cytoplasm. This one, plasma membrane. Now let's discuss the structure of plant cell. In case of plant cell, as I had already told that in case of plant cell, outermost boundary is known as the cell wall. This cell wall, this outermost boundary is not selectively permeable, it is freely permeable. So any of the solid or lipid material, small size solid liquid material can enter inside the cell. It is freely permeable, it is not selectively permeable. In mature plant cells, generally it is dead, it is made of lignin. Just toward inner side, plasma membrane is there. So we are drawing three boundaries, three layers. So this one, this outermost boundary, this is this cell wall. It is made of cellulose. We are drawing three boundaries here. This is cell wall. So in the plant cell, that major difference is that central part is mainly occupied by this vacuole. Very large central vacuole is there, and it stores waste material, it stores minerals, secretions of the plant cells, and this is known as this liquid, this fluid within the vacuole is known as cell sap, and this membrane is known as the tonoplast. And so as the vacuole occupies centralmost part, so nucleus come at the periphery. So again we will draw this circular outline, and now we will make the nuclear envelope is there, like this nuclear envelope. In the same way as in the animal cell, nuclear envelope is in continuation with the endoplasmic reticulum till plasma membrane. We will draw it. It look like very beautiful pattern will be formed with the help of this endoplasmic reticulum. This endoplasmic reticulum is again, it is rough, it is studded with ribosomes. that is protein factory. So it is studied with ribosome. Then smooth SER, smooth endoplasmic reticulum is also present. Like this we will draw. Let's complete this nuclear envelope. Double layered nuclear envelope, double membrane is here. Then in the center spherical structure nucleolus is there. Chromatin thread work is there, and nucleoplasm is there in the nucleus, and very few mitochondria, double layer mitochondria, few mitochondria is present. That is inner membrane is invaginated inward like this. Number of mitochondria in plant cell is lesser as compared to animal cells. And then in plant cell, instead of Golgi complex, there is dictyosomes are there. They are not so well developed as a Golgi complex are there. So this is less developed. This is known as dictyosome. And in plant cell, one main structure which is present in plant cell, which we can distinguish plant cell from the animal cell, that is chloroplast. So chloroplast is also double layer, double membrane organelle, and in the chloroplast there is a system of membranes are there, known as these stack of membranes, stack of bags are there. They are known as the thylakoids, in which photosynthesis will take place. So this one is chloroplast. This one dictyosome. This one smooth endoplasmic reticulum. No centriole, there is no centriole in the plant cell, and in the surrounding cytoplasm is here. This is the cytoplasm. And this one outermost boundary, cell wall. This one plasma membrane. So now we can differentiate between animal cell. This one is the animal cell. So many differences are there in animal cell and plant cell. This one plant cell. So in animal cell we can say outermost boundary is the plasma membrane. In plant cell outermost boundary is this cell wall. Cell wall made of cellulose is present in plant cell, but no cell wall in animal cell. In plant cell, size of vacuole is very big and permanent, and many vacuoles are there. In animal cell, vacuoles are small in size, temporary, and very few in number. In plant cell, dictyosome, less developed dictyosomes are there, and in animal cell, Golgi complex is present. In plant cell, very important structure, that is chloroplast is present, which can harvest sunlight, but in animal cell no chloroplast. In plant cell, centrioles is not present, which will help in cell division. In plant cell it is absent. So these are some of the differences between animal cell and plant cell. And one more difference you can see, nucleus is at center in case of animal cell, and while as a vacuole is present in the center, so nucleus will come to the periphery. That is also another difference between animal cell and plant cell. It's about the differences between plant cell and animal cell. Plant cell have outermost boundary as the cell wall, which is made up of cellulose, and but in animal cell there is no cell wall. Plant cell possessed, I told earlier also, plant cell possess chloroplast, but animal cell have no chloroplast. Plant cell, in case of plant cell, vacuoles are very large in size and permanent, but in animal cell, vacuoles are After discussing plant cell and animal cell, let's discuss about structure of nerve cell. For drawing this nerve cell, first of all, we will draw its main cell body, that is known as a cytone. So we will draw this circular outline. Around this we will make these U-like structure. Now I will tell what are these. So this is long thread-like structure in nerve cell known as the axon, and this main cell body is cytone, and in the center nucleus is there. This whole cell body is known as the cytone. So cell body of neuron is known as cytone. And these small cytoplasmic processes are known as the dendrites. So these nerve cells will receive message through these dendrons and dendrites. So these are highly branched structure, these dendrites. So these dendrite nerve cell will receive the message. At the end of axon, these swollen structures, these are the axon endings, or also called as a presynaptic node. So one nerve cell is in connection with another nerve cell. So this gap between two nerve cells is known as synapse. So to avoid leakage of nerve impulse, there are some cells are there around these axon. These cells are known as the Schwann cells, like this. These cells surround these axons and these cells are known as Schwann cells. And this nucleus, these Schwann cells have this is the nucleus of Schwann cells. In the surrounding it is some adipose tissues is there to avoid lateral conduction, and this nucleus is surrounded by the cytoplasm in which many other organelles are suspended. So three main components of this neuron or nerve cell, this is also known as neuron, nerve cell. Main components are the dendrite. To dendrite, message will be received and will be carried to the axon ending. From axon ending or presynaptic node, it will be carried to the other neuron. So main function of neuron is to carry the message from one part of brain to the sensory organs, and from sensory organs or from receptors back to the brain. So it maintains control and coordination within the body. That is the main function of neuron.